Good morning, and welcome back to Jody Lewis Creations. In today's video, we are doing week number 11 on the Full Deck Challenge hosted by Shinuki Art. And today's prompt is black and white, one bright color, stencil, and texture paste. So, there's a lot to today's prompt, but we're gonna go with it. I just have here my Dollar Tree cutting mat that needs to be cleaned. It is a mess. I have my stencil here. I don't know why I'm trying to keep that on the ring. I was trying to dig through my stencils and I was feeling polka dots this morning, but my polka dot stencil for my Timmy stuff isn't quite wide enough to do the whole thing. And so I just decided I would use this one. We're just gonna go with it. Oh, wait a minute. Are we gonna do that? I just saw another stencil. Would be so much fun. And I like never use it. No. In the moment, you know, you say, oh, well, maybe I could do that. Maybe we could do like a big hand on here. That might be kind of fun, huh? That would be something completely different. So maybe. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being here. I am super tired today. Mark and I did a lot of work in the yard yesterday. And my body is like, what are you doing? Okay, so black and white. So I have this like this. You like my technical terms? Where's my washi tape? I moved it, you guys. I moved it. Here's just a piece. I can just use a little piece. I just want to washi tape my card down so that way it won't move on me, hopefully. Okay, so we have that. Let me set this aside. I'm not using that. Now, excuse me. I can tell I was outside working yesterday. Okay, so what I'm thinking I want to do is, I don't have that up high enough on my card. Okay, regroup. I'm just adjusting. I would like my fingers to be up a little higher. This way, I think. And then I think I'll put some washi across there. Sorry, Santa, this is not your purpose, but I'm using you for this today because you're the first roll I found. Okay, so I have my modeling paste. Modeling paste and texture paste are essentially the same thing. I don't have actual texture paste right now, so I'm just gonna put some on there and then I'm gonna dye it black. I was gonna use black gesso, but that's not using texture paste in accordance with the prompt. So we are going to, I have to be heavy with the black because this is going to turn gray because of the white, because black and white make gray. Okay, so just get that. And am I prepared for this? Do I have paper towels? No. I know. We're getting ready to get a storm coming through, so hopefully I can get through this. I think that's dark enough. I don't think I'm going to add more ink to that. And then I'm going to put this in my stencil. Like so. Way too much mixed for this, but that's okay. And I normally wouldn't leave like so much on, but see, it's turning gray as I'm scraping that off. It's getting gray in the middle and I don't want that. So I'm going to have to leave more on here than I typically would because I want to make sure, oops, that hand is really got some texture to it. Hello. So let's get this off here. And I'm going to have to go wash my stencils. And because I have the extra here, I do want to use it on something. Oh yeah. Oh, it bled. Shoot. Well, that's okay. Huh. Well, I'm not happy with that. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. Not going to worry about it. We can do this on some book page. That was, I didn't have my stencil down enough and I worked it too much. So that's totally my fault. Of course it's my fault. Nobody else is in here doing it. That one's better. And there's nothing that says I can't fussy cut if I get a better image on the book page, right? Well, that one's not going to be because I just picked it up with my kniff. But when these dry, I'll be able to have them to use on something else. Like that one's better even still. Set that aside to dry. Try one more. Then I'm going to clean this up and let these dry, and then I'll come back and see what we actually end up with. But I suggest doing this, like if you're going to mix a color, so you have a color, just have some extra book pages or something nearby so that you can utilize what you've mixed because you don't want your product to go to waste. Okay, that's even better still. Hopefully there's no bad words in that. So I'm going to go wash my stencil and palette knife and let these dry, and I'll come back. So I'm going to tell you, I don't love it. I am not sure I'm going to use this card. I came in with some black marker and white marker around to try to get the embellishment or the blemishes off. Then when I heated it, it bubbled, which I expected that. So I have a bright color here. And we're going to see what happens. And if I don't like this, I'm going to start a new card. But I try to be honest and real with you guys so that if something doesn't work, you're like, no, it doesn't work. And then I'm not happy with it. So let's just see what happens. And honestly, I'm just in a mood to get messy and play. So it's okay. It's totally okay. Oh, this is such a pretty color ink. And it's shiny, so of course I like it, right? It is the, hang on, I'll tell you what color it is when I take the lid off of it. Oh man, I can totally tell I was outside yesterday because things are starting to pollinate. And so I've got to be really careful. I'll be losing my voice if I'm not super careful with stuff. But I have terrible environmental allergies, so... we have a big thunderstorm getting ready to rumble through right now. So I was going to leave the inside of the hand white and use my bright color around the outside. And for those of you who are going, what are you doing? That's a great question. I don't have an answer to that question. I'm really just playing and want to get messy today. I was going to get my gel plate out and play with that because I'm trying to learn how to use it. And, but I thought, well, I'll do this card and get that out of the way. I need to finish infirmary, but because of the weather, we didn't get to the post office, cemetery yesterday. We were just working in the yard. So, yeah, I don't know if I like that or not. This is FW from De La Rowney, FW Pearlescent. And waterfall green is the color. Anyway, it's a gorgeous color, I think. So, I don't know. I don't think I like it. I think I'm going to set this card aside and let it dry and regroup. Because that's just not... that is not speaking to me. And that happens. And I would say that all the cards we've made so far this year, this is what? Card number 11. And So plus the 5 cards we've done for the ABC challenge, that's only the second card that I've really set aside and said, oh, I don't really think I like that. And I think that that's doing pretty good. So I do love that color. I'm going to leave that set there. I am going to stencil. Excuse me. Getting another card. And we're going to do something different. We need black. Blacky black. So if I do it like this, and my background is black and white, I don't know. Let's just see. I'm not 100% sold on the idea of this card, so, and I haven't really watched, like, Kirsten, I know your video is up, and I am purposely not watching it because I love your card, and I'm trying to do my own thing with this, and so, this is my VersaFine black ink, because that'll be permanent when it dries. Now, that's kind of a cool design. Okay. I'm gonna let that dry. We've got to do some texture paste, which we can do. And we need our carry forward. So my ticket and my stamp, I've got to do that. And yeah. Okay, bright color. I have Sweet Cherry and Heidi Swap Color Shine. This is an iridescent spray. And I don't know what's my little thing with micas this morning, but, well, who are we kidding? We know I like shiny things. Oh, please spray. I need to clean all of my sprayers. My little troll bum to help me pick it out, see if that'll help. May not be able to use it. I haven't used these in a while. I need to take time one of these days and shoot, clean my sprayers. Okay. No. So let's go. Okay. We haven't used this color yet. I got this for Christmas, so we're just gonna use it. And then to find my focal point and go from there on this. And I really want to do some, stop saying Jody. Ooh, there's a boomer. I looked at the weather and it's like a big red line coming toward us. We're getting all kinds of alerts this morning. But it's really warm today, and it's going to drop down. Like yesterday, we ended up being in the mid-70s. It was crazy warm. All right. I think I've shaken it enough. Maybe. No. Keep shaking. You always want to shake your sprays. Oops. Should be, I'm shaking the whole room. Because you'll see the pigment, it gets in the bottom of your sprayers, and that's regardless of brand. So you want to make sure you shake it and get all of the goodies in the liquid so that you get the color that you're trying to achieve. I asked Mark the other day if he would check this table. I said, it's shaking more than it should be. And he was like, well, maybe something's loose or something on it. So I just have to, oh yeah. Oh, that's pretty. I would say that's definitely a bright color. Spiced marmalade. Yeah. Right. And then on your micas, please make sure you always wipe your nozzles. It does help to prevent the clogging as it dries. Clearly I have some that are clogged. I haven't used all of those, so that might be part of the problem. Now, normally I might add a little bit of water to this, but because black and white is a prompt with the bright color, I'm going to leave that as it is and just dry it. So I'm going to hit it with my heat tool. Are you guys yelling at me that I have not put any more texture paste on this? And then I just put that mica on there. So that ought to be interesting. So let's see what we want. Maybe I will just add a couple of circles. Maybe I will. I feel like this is gonna get too chaotic. What if I line this back up? I obviously don't have it lined up very well. It's all right. Just line it up. Ooh, what if I just go around the edge of it? I must not have this in the same spot. I have to, sometimes lining these up is a little bit of a challenge, especially when you're trying to figure out like exactly where it was. But that's pretty close right there. Okay, that's fine. Just don't touch it, Jody. Don't touch it. And I'm not gonna use a lot. I'm just gonna come around maybe this corner. Why? Hi, line up, just line up. Right there. Don't touch it. Oh, and I just covered my really pretty orange splatter. It's all right. Okay, we're gonna let that dry and see if that pulls the color from underneath. It did. I just got color in my thing. So we'll let that dry. I have an idea if that dries and can work, but now I just broke my nail. I have to let it sit and dry. I don't want that to bubble, but it's kind of cool because it's picking up the ink, which it shouldn't because it is the VersaFine, which is a permanent ink. So I find it interesting that I'm getting color transfer from something, but maybe it's just picking it up off the stencil because of the oils in the ink. I'm not sure. Oh well, you know, it's things that we learn when we're playing, and that's what I'm doing with these cards, is really just trying to play and use things, elements that I wouldn't normally use. You know what I mean? So anyway, all right, letting it dry. It's a little bit later. I swapped some laundry and sat outside with Mark for a minute because the storms were rolling through. The power did flicker. I have this Heidi Swap hot pink reactive foil. It says to use with the mink foil applicator. I don't have that, but I use this in other ways. If you've been following me, you probably know what I'm getting ready to do. So I have my, whatever this thing's called. And on my texture paste that's dry, I'm going to just lay this on here and scratch it, rub it, burnish it, and not on that glass mat because that's annoying to me. Probably is to you too. But just want to get that on there really well. And yeah, it's working. Yay! So I'll show you what it does. It's such a good reminder to play on these little projects like this. I love doing this. It really makes me happy. You can also run this through like an embossing folder. Oh my gosh, that would have been so pretty on that fish card with the background. Didn't occur to me though, but that's okay. And you just kind of keep rubbing it till you get the desired color. I just wanted the nuance of the pop of pink on here. Apparently I'm in a everything shiny kind of mood today. Which reminds me, Rhoda, I don't remember what products you were wanting me to talk about, so I need to find out what you were wanting me to do so I can do that video for you. Okay, so you can see how much of the pink came off. I'm shaking you again. Let me see. Hang on a second. He must have gone to the basement already. I was going to ask him to check my table. Okay, so you can see I have the shimmer from the orange and the hot pink. Now to me, this says bright color. Could I make my bright color more saturated? Obviously, I could. I'm not doing that. I want to edge this card in something. Now, am I going to edge it in pink or orange? I'm not sure what I want to do. I'm not there yet. So we need our focal points. Now I can just, the bone folder on that glass was like really annoying me. Okay, so I've been doing a ticket and I've been doing a postage stamp as my constants. And I am thinking I have, that doesn't really match that. So do I have, yeah, I have orange tickets. I keep using orange tickets though, don't I? Okay, a bright color. I would say this is bright. Blue might be nice on there for a contrasting color. Or we can just stamp our own ticket from our Timmy set that I got from Mark for Christmas. And then it can be whatever color I want it to be. And it doesn't have to be the whole thing. I have these that are from a paper pad that I cut into little bits and pieces. So I actually, ooh, I like that. It's like a little tape strip with some gold numbers on it. Like, how cool is that? Oh, black and white, maybe. Don't know if these actually constitute tickets. Sure they do. I'm using my creative license right now, and we're gonna do it. All right, I think I like that one. Oh, and I need a postage stamp. And I have to clean my table, but I told Mark I want to try to get a couple of videos filmed today just because I don't know what this week is going to look like, and I don't want to feel pressure or feel like I'm super behind again. I was really wanting to finish infirmary, but I haven't been able to. We didn't go yesterday. We were busy working in the yard because we have so much damage from the weather, the winter storms and stuff, that we just really had to do some cleanup. Took a full trailer of like sticks and leaves and just debris out of the yard and took it. There's a place here in town that so if you don't know, the direction that you tear your paper matters. So this way I tore away, on this way I tore away. So you tear away from the piece that you're trying to use, if that makes sense. And on that scrap, I will show you. So I'm tearing away, so none of that white core, I mean, there's a little, but it's not that big of a deal. But this was tearing toward. So if I tear toward, I'm getting the white core. If I tear away, I'm not getting that white core on the piece that I'm trying to use. Now, sometimes I like that white core because it gives me a little bit more interest when I ink, but typically I try not to do that. Oops, that's the away. I pulled that the wrong way. So toward you, you get the white, and away from you, you don't, okay? Hopefully that'll help, because I know a lot of people struggle with that. And if I'm being perfectly honest, half the time I struggle with that too. So, oh, that's kind of a pretty one. Different. Okay, where's my, I don't even know what I was saying. Oh, I want to get infirmary done. I want to work on botanical because it's getting to be spring, and I just told Mark, like here at the house, I'm pretty sure my butterfly bush is trying to come back to life. And I feel like it's a little early because we're getting ready to get another cold snap, but it's fine. Oh, I like that. I don't want to hide all of my pink though. I really like that for the contrasting color. And I feel like this rose gold is a bright color. I like that. And I just want some little something on here that's like a fun bit. Oh, she's pretty. And, oh, that's a black and white one, if I can get it out of here. Oh, I really like that. I like that a lot. To pull that black and white forward. And I don't think I'm going to use that at all. I think I'm going to use the black and white. It makes me question this piece of ticket now. Of course it does, because I had my mind made up and now I'm changing my mind. Oh my gosh, I hate when I have to cut all my nails off. It drives me insane because I can't pick anything up. Ah, okay. Ticket, 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 ticket. Oh my gosh. I have been blabbing away for a really long time. I thought I was filming and I wasn't. So, fun times. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm trying to work on my composition. So anything that I said doesn't even matter. I think I need background intervention because once again, I really liked the background of this and was trying not to cover it. So I either need an intervention or I need to just start making two backgrounds so that I have one that's not covered. Plus I'm struggling with these cards. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like, how do I say this? Because I'm not being derogatory at all. I'm getting bored. And, if you know me, you know, like, I don't make the same thing. I can't make, like, I could not sit and make two of the same journal. I did it once. There were nuances. They were different when I made prayer journals, but I just really struggle with that because I get bored. I don't want to sit there. And that's why I don't have a mass make pile of things. Number one, where am I going to store it? And number two, I don't have the attention span to sit here and make 20 of something. I might be able to make 5 of something, but 10 I think would be very difficult. So I think that's part of my struggle. It's not the Rolodex cards themselves that are challenging me, because as far as like the ABC challenge goes, I'm doing okay with those and the backgrounds because they're different. The prompts themselves are kind of leading me to do whatever I'm doing. So I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, I am loving going through and flipping through and seeing like the pieces of art we have going on in here. It really makes me happy. But I'm just trying to figure out like what I'm doing. And you know what I don't have this week is a carry forward. So what did I use? Was last week pink? What was last week? Oh, last week was vintage with brown splatter. So I literally think I'm done with this card. And I'm not done. Bling. I could carry forward bling. I guess I'm going to have to carry forward bling. I wasn't really planning on putting any on here, but I've got to carry something forward and the design is done now. Okay, so I wanted to show you, I used a glittery clear embossing powder on this purple flower. Come on, light. And I'm sure, I can't see if that, yeah, there we go. Okay, and this is what it looked like without. So these are very dull. I'm pretty sure these are Anna Griffin, but they're like dull flowers and I love them. I never use them. And I was like, you're going to use one today. So I used something that I've been hoarding for a while. So I really do like that effect. And then it still shows the design because it's clear. And even if I had just used clear and not the glittery clear, it still would have, I have got to put some stuff away. It still would have enhanced that flower and made it not so dull. And that's one of the things that like I love about the glazes. Yes, I will try really hard to stop talking about the glazes, but I just truly have an obsession with them right now. Do I have any that are already cut? Here, I'm going to put a gold bling in the middle of that flower, and I'm literally only doing that because I need a carry forward. And bling is going to be it today, I think. Unless, like, that, no, absolutely not. I don't even know what I was saying. It doesn't matter. I could put a couple of silvers on there. Maybe one on the end of the Inspire, because this end is covered, so it could just be like a little touch of like something on there. I am really annoyed that I didn't think of that in the process, but I have a single gold one. We're going to use a single gold one. We're going to put it in the flower. Where do I put it here? I don't like it there. I really don't like it at all. But I don't want to splatter this card. So one single bling in the middle of the flower is going to be the carry forward. But anyway, so if you're doing this challenge, are you finding yourself at a point here periodically where you're like, ugh, what am I gonna do? I'm trying to use like different techniques on, well, that's not gonna work. I'm trying to use different techniques on these cards and do some things that I like don't normally do, or haven't done in a while, like the foil on the texture paste. I haven't done that in a really long time. So I'm just curious. And it's just an honest conversation because as creatives, I know so many of us get bored and move on to the next thing. And sometimes we don't even finish projects because we get bored. And again, this is no ill anything. I wonder if that's not sticking because it's on that embossing powder. But anyway, so I'm not saying anything bad about the challenge itself. It is my own brain and how my brain works. So I'm just curious if anybody can relate to that. I'm hoping I don't get that way with the ABC challenge, but I feel like every week is throwing me a curveball because I don't know what I'm getting into when I use that random generator to get the prompts. So I don't know. I guess that's just kind of that's my question, and would really enjoy it if you guys would feel comfortable enough to share that with me, because it's something that's been weighing on me last week, the last couple of weeks, three weeks, maybe since the pink card. And so I've just been trying to work my way around it, and I'm wanting to use different techniques, and that's really important to me because part of doing the different techniques is I remember things that I have forgotten. And in the creative world, and especially when we watch so many different YouTubers, different styles, different techniques, you know, mixed media, whatever, you know, it's like, oh, I forgot about that. Oh, I forgot about that. So that's where I'm kind of hoping these cards will be a reminder for me, like, hey, I can do that. Maybe I'm stuck one day creatively and I'm like, let's just flip through and see what we've done and go, oh yeah, the stamping background was fun. You know, the, what was this background? Oh, the glazed in background. That was one of my favorites. More ink, the decoupage background on the D card. This one was a lot of fun, and that's not something that I would normally do with those crazy colors, but I actually really love that card. You know, coloring and fussy cutting a bird. That's not, you know what I mean? So I'm just curious, like, what is your take on it? How do you feel about the challenges? And see, and I was pulling out my scraps and collaging with my scrap backgrounds, and I got bored with that. So then I went into other techniques. So could I go back to this? Yes. Could I have collaged the whole back of this, like in music paper, book pages, stuff like that? Yes, because that would be the black and white background, and I could have just splattered bright ink on it, but that's repetitive to things I've already done. So I don't know, just food for thought, and would be really curious if you guys are willing to share with me. Now, I need to remember to write my prompts on these before I make them. There's kind of a double thing to that. I don't, because if I use water or whatever, I don't want the words to run depending on the ink that I use. But then when I build up texture or dimension on them, then it makes it difficult to write on the background. For example, where's my F card? It sat here for a couple days before I thought about how I was going to put the prompt on it. But I had the square from the frame, and so I just wrote it on here and glued it to the back because I really didn't want to cover the back of the card. So those are just things that come through my mind. And I just, again, I'm repeating myself at this point. Yes, I know. But I just would really like some honest feedback and conversation with you. Number one, as the viewer. And number two, as a creative,
Are you getting bored with them? Are you getting bored with what I'm doing? I put inspire on here, and that word spoke to me today because I really want to be inspired to really delve into some more mixed media this year. And I keep saying that, and I keep hoping that my brain will get to a point where I can do that. I am hoping this afternoon to get my gel play out and play a little bit. I have a couple things in mind that I want to do. So just things like that. So that's a different conversation when we get to the gel play, if I can get that far. We've got some stuff going on today. But we have our black and white background, okay? We have our bright. So I feel like this is a gorgeous spritz color, by the way, the Spice Marmalade. I love that color. This was one of my 12 days gifts, and I'm not sad about that. And then the bright with the foil on here, so that's a technique that's different this week than what we have used in any of the challenges so far this year. I have my ticket. I have my postage stamps. Those are my constants. I have my embossed flower, and then my bling is my carry forward from last week. Is that a lame carry forward? Maybe, but it's a carry forward, and I did not put any music on this one. So I'm trying to like get away from the music being a third constant, because 3 constants is just a lot to deal with. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. And again, I would really appreciate honest feedback with my questions, if they make sense to you, or if you're like, I don't get bored, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'd love to know that too. Maybe it's just me. So I hope you are working on something that makes you so happy, and makes your heart happy, brings you so much joy. And today I just feel like getting messy is what my soul needs to get lost. So that is my plan, and probably part of why I went this direction with my background. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you in the next video. Bye.